Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. So as you can see, this application is live right now, and basically it's a very basic application where people can come and manage their tasks. How I made it live, so it's through AWS S3, right, and CloudFront that I've used for making this application live right now. Okay, and it is completely secure. As you can see, my certificate is also valid for this. And how I've done it, how this application works, how I've coded this application, and what all things are there in the backend, all those things will be covered in this tutorial. So stay tuned with me. Just try to understand the tasks first, try to understand the process first that you have to follow to create this application and also to bring it live to your users, right? Once you're done with that, you'll be able to create these kind of applications very easily. Fine. So I'm going to first show you the things which the user can do on this application, how you can make it go viral with the help of these three buttons over here, right? And then we are going to talk about the coding section and the backend and the front end also. Okay, so let's dive into this application and check out its functionality. So it's basically can be used for managing the tasks. So let's say I have to go to the market at 12 noon. Fine, and then I can add the task like this. Then I can add another task. I have to complete my coding tutorial series this week. Fine, and I can add the tasks. So I can add as many tasks as I want over here. Now if I give it a refresh, what will happen? Let's see. So all the tasks will go away. Fine, so I can type them again. I am going to purchase a new car on Sunday. Let's add it. I'm going to go to Goa next week. Let's add the task. And once these tasks are completed, we can simply tick mark these checkboxes to mark them as completed. If you want to permanently remove them, you can simply click on this bin button and you can remove the tasks also. So this is the functionality of the application. Now, if you have to share this application on your social media handle, how you'll do that? So these are the three buttons. So with the help of this Facebook, you can share this application with your Facebook friends. You just have to type in the things here, and here you have to type the URL, and then you can start asking your Facebook friends to just use your application. Same thing we can do with the help of Twitter button also. So with the help of this, you can share this link of the application with your Twitter followers. Okay, here you have to create a post and then you're good to go. So basically it is connected. It can be shared directly with the social media friends, with the social media platforms that you're running. Okay, so that's the whole functionality of the application. How I've created this application, now let's talk about that. So the first thing that you require to create this application is an AWS IAM user. So how you will do it? You have to simply come on your AWS console, and here you have to come on this IAM. Okay, here you have to come on this IAM. Sorry, I think I'll have to log into the application again. No problem, we'll do it. Okay, so once you're there on the IAM dashboard, what you have to do, you have to come on users and simply create a new user for yourself. Testing user, and then click on next. Add attach policies directly. So I'm going to have the administrator access, and then you can simply create a new user. Fine. Now once you're done with creating the user, you have to come on this user and create the access keys, so that with the help of your VS Code you can simply access your AWS environment, and then you can create whatever you want to through your local machine, right? And that's how you can do it. Simply create the access keys. Okay, so 50% of the things are done if you've reached to this point. Fine, this is the main thing that you require to access AWS environment on your VS Code, and then everything that is needed is the understanding of the commands, which I'm going to show you. So here is the entire flow of the application, all the steps that you need to follow for creating this beautiful application. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to download and install Node. Fine. So I've pasted the link also in the file, so you can simply click it and download the Node from there. Once you're done with that, just create a folder on a desktop or anywhere, right? Let's create a folder quickly over here. I'm going to name it as testing, coming inside it, and let's just do a CMD and open it up in VS Code. Fine. So as you know that testing is a newly created folder and it's completely blank. I'm going to close this welcome thing, and let's come back on the Word file. So here we can use this command now because Node is already there on your device. So you can simply use npx command for creating the application, and this is how you have to fire it. So as you can see, I'm inside this testing named folder. Okay, and while I'm inside this testing named folder, I have fired this command. So this npx create react app will tell the interpreter that you have to now create a React application with name viral task manager. So as you can see, it has created a folder for us, and inside that we have one file right now which is package.json. It is now installing the Node modules, various libraries that are required for running the React application. Once that is done, it will create other folders and files like source, app.js, entry point, app.css, index.js, etc. So that's what we'll be using for the front end, which you're seeing over here. This front end, where is that? Yeah, this front end is coming from the React code, but the functionality, I am able to share it with my Facebook friends. I'm able to share it directly on a single click with the tutor, with my Twitter friends. So all these things are coming from AWS. It's not React with which these things have been developed. Okay, so that's what we are going to talk about. Let's just wait for this command to finish its task. Okay, so it's installing the template dependencies right now, and we have this source folder. So I think it's almost done. Let's come back on the Word file. So now we have to cd into the folder in which our application files are present. Fine. So let's wait for some more seconds. Yeah, it's completed. Let's dive into the folder viral task manager. And here, if you want to check whether your application is running fine or not, you can simply do an npm start. Okay, so it will start running. But for now, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to simply come on the second step and let's install Material UI. So with the help of this Material UI, you can make your application look really awesome. Fine, that's the reason, people who are friendly with React mostly go with this library, so that they can give a very good look and feel to their application. Let's wait for some time till this command finishes its part. Okay, so it's done. Let's come back on the Word file and copy this command and paste it over here. So this will install the Material UI icons in this application for us. Okay, now what is the next thing that we have to do? We have to create a task manager.js component. Fine. So for that, what we'll do is we'll create a folder named components inside the source folder. Let me just copy this folder's name from here, and I'm going to come inside the source folder, and let's do this new folder thing, creating another folder named components inside the source folder. And now we have to create a file named taskmanager.js in which we'll put the main applications code, okay, which we will render through this app.js afterwards. So let's just create this file first, and then we have to simply copy this whole code. Okay, I'm going to explain each and every line of this code also to you guys, so don't worry about anything. Fine. And I'm going to paste it over here. Let's just export the task manager also. Fine. So by the time the library is getting installed, let's quickly walk through this code that I've written. So we are importing React, and there's this hook useState that we have imported. Then there are these various fields, text field, button, list items that I will be using for my application. Delete icon is for that bin button, which comes when we create a task over here like this. Okay, so this task, this checkbox, this text field, all this is coming from these things which we have imported on the top. Now we have created a function called task manager, inside which we have these two useState functions. So first one is this tasks, which is an array, which is nothing but an empty array where we are going to put all the tasks. And here the task text will come. So this is the task text, and if I do another task, so these tasks are getting saved in this task named variable. Fine, because it's an empty array. Now here handle add tasks. So when the user will click this add task button, this is a function which gets executed. So basically what happens is whatever the user type over here, right, it takes it as a text and then mark it as false, mark the completion of it as false, and then add it to this particular tasks list. Fine, that's what is happening over here. And then set task text to null. So if I type anything over here and then add it, it goes null. That is what this function is basically doing for us. There is this handle toggle task also. So if constant updated tasks, we are reading the tasks present in the tasks name list over here, then updated tasks index dot completed not equal to updated task index dot completed. So we are checking whether these are completed or not. So if I mark it like this, automatically you can see it has a cross on it. Fine, if I remove it, the cross disappears. So it is happening because of this handle toggle task. Fine. And finally this delete thing, if I click on this bin button, that task has gone away. So that has happened because of this function over here. So it is filtering based on the index of the task, and then it is removing, helping us in removing that index along with the task from this tree. Fine. This while task manager is coming from this, right? Then we have this manage your task, which is coming from this line of code. Typography is used. Text field is this. You can modify it more as per your choice. Then we have a button which is add task. So when the user clicks this button, what happens is handle add task, which is the function right on the top, gets called, gets executed, which adds the task which the user right over here or in this list. Fine. And then we have this list down over here, which we have created with the help of this code. Okay, so that's a very small code that we have written over here. I hope you have understood the whole code. You've understood the mechanism, how the front end is working. Now the only part which is left is how to make it go viral, right? So what we have done basically here is we have used these buttons over here: Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. so that people can share the application with their friends on their social media handles and they can make their application go viral. That is what we'll be taking, but after some time. Let me explain you a bit of AWS backend also that have been used in this application. Coming back to the Word file, add styles.app. Okay, so in this app.css we have added some styling. We've given styling to the app logo, right? All that. So that also you can find in this application. Now let's come down and check out app.js. So I'm going to explain these lines of code also to you guys. Don't worry about that. So we have simply accessed the task manager. We are calling the task manager from this components named folder, right? With the help of this importing command, we have imported it, and then we are simply rendering it over here. Fine, that's the only thing which this app.js is doing for us. Let's come down and let's see how we have integrated AWS, the hosting part and the backend services with this front-end application. So we'll use AWS Amplify to quickly deploy it and scale the application. Now, what all things you have to do for deploying this beautiful application on your internet? Okay, so basically we'll use AWS CLI for the same. But before doing that, let me just quickly run this application and show what this application looks like on the browser. So this is going to take a bit of time because there are a lot of things in the backend, and once this application gets loaded, it will directly send us to this type of a screen. Okay, so it is loaded, it is there. So as you can see, this viral task manager, manage your task, everything is there, and we can add the tasks like this. We can mark them completed also, and we can remove them. Fine, so everything is working fine now. Let's come back and let's just close this, and coming back to this third step. So we have to now install this Amplify CLI. Amplify is nothing but AWS SDK for you guys and for me too, right? With the help of which we can interact directly with the AWS services, AWS components, and then we can do whatever we want to. We can create anything on AWS just with the help of this VS Code through our local. Okay, so once this library gets installed, what is the next step that we'll be doing? We'll be configuring the AWS, but this is something which is not required, so I'm removing it. We're going to come directly on Amplify init. Why? Because we already have these access keys with us. Where are the access keys? Yeah, this is what we just created, right? So I'm going to just copy it and paste it over here. So this is the access key for the user which I just created in the beginning of this video, right? And here I'm going to paste the secret access key. So basically we have created a user, right, which has administrator access. Administrator access means who can access everything present on AWS. Okay, and using these credentials we are going to now sign in into AWS through our VS Code. Now how that process happens, so for that you have to follow these steps which I'm going to just show you now. So Amplify init is the first thing that you need to fire. Okay, it will now try to connect to AWS, but first of all it will ask you some questions. So for this, just say yes. Then for this, go with the fourth option, enter a name for the project. So I'm going to enter Gaurav testing, and yes for this. Now here we have to choose from these two options. So let's go with the second one, which is AWS access keys. Now it is asking for us to enter the access key ID. So this is the one that you have to copy and simply right click and it will get pasted over here. Now we have to copy and paste the secret access key. Now we have to select the region in which we want to deploy the application. So if you come on this AWS console of yours, you'll be able to see the region in which you are working over here in the URL part. Fine, so it is EU North 1 for me. Let's go with this one and see what's going to happen next. So it will now prepare the backend environment, okay, for me on AWS, and it will deploy the resources into the development environment. Okay, so I think it's done. Let me just say no to this. So it is saving the deployment state. Now it is uploading everything, and yeah, it's done. Let's come back on the Word file, and here we have this command called amplify add hosting. So now we have to add the hosting related things also. So here I'm going to go with Amazon CloudFront in S3. Let me enlarge the size of the text so that it can be more visible to you guys. So here I've chosen this second option, Amazon CloudFront in S3. Click enter, and then it will show you the bucket name. Fine. So I'm going to go with this bucket only, which it has created for me. Okay, so it's done. Now it's time for us to publish our application. So with the help of this amplify publish, we can publish our application on this CloudFront and S3 that we have created. Just write this command and rest everything will be done by this command, so you don't have to worry about anything. It has created for us this CloudFront named S3 and CloudFront. Okay, and let me just say yes to it. Fine. So now our application is getting deployed. So the process is completed, and as you can see, it has given us a link in the bottom. Okay, now what is this link? Let's check it out. So I'm going to simply click it, and let's see where it will get open. So I have to open it in the browser, and as you can see, our React application is live right now on the internet, and it is completely secure also. So if you are hosting it through CloudFront and S3, you don't require any certificate. It will be always secure. You will get a secure site always. Fine. So this is the CloudFront certificate, right, which you can see over here, and the site is completely secure. Let's come back on the Word file and check out the other steps. So now it's time for us to make this application go viral. How to do that? We can simply add that, those three buttons which I showed you, right, like this. So we have to first install this library called React Share. So basically in this library, we have all the buttons which we require for sharing the application on our social media handles. Okay, so once you're done with adding this library in your React application, the next thing is you have to simply copy this whole code, right, which is nothing but the task manager.js files code. Okay, and you have to simply paste it over here. Now what is the change in this code? Let me just show it to you. So till this point the code is same. The list item, the add task thing, the typography, right, all this is same what we discussed earlier, right? The only difference between this one and the previous code was here we have these buttons also at the bottom of this list. Fine. So we have this Facebook share button, we have this Twitter share button, where we are sharing the URL of our application. And what is this share URL? Let me just show that also to you. So I'm going to simply copy it and search for it. This is the URL. Okay. But for us, let me see the URL. Just a second. Have I pasted it in the right? Yeah, it's there in the right VS Code window. So I'm going to simply copy this and let's just paste it over here. So this is the application URL, the application which we have created. Now what I have to do is I have to simply publish the changes so that the changes can be made live. For now, if I run this npm start thing and exit the application on my local, let me show you how it will look like. So this is the application which is live right now, right, and this is the one which is running on our local. So as you can see, the local one is showing us all these buttons, right, with which we can share the application's URL with our friends. But the new one, the one which is live right now, it's not showing anything like that. So for making the changes live that you have done, just fire this command amplify publish. What it'll do, it will check all the changes that you have done in your application and it will simply publish them online. Yes, see, all these buttons are live right now. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the steps which you can use for creating a React application and also for making it live using S3 and CloudFront. That is it from my side in this lecture. Bye bye, take care, and have a great day, guys.